All right, so back into some Heroes of the Storm practice we go. And I am going to turn our Pokemon music back on. Beautiful. And as I play, I will get my stream title and stream game and everything up to date here. Win the toss, go second. Love it. Good start. And the perfect, the entry battle music as we go in. Love it. It's a good start, too. We start with our Soul Rock. We'll just leave him there. He's got 110 health, so I don't think anything can really threaten him. On first turn of the game, no poison shenanigans there. What is this? With an electric energy? Looks like Raging Bolt. Okay, so this one puts me in a little bit of a weird position. I obviously can't knock out the Latias, and this is just a big 2-prize trade game. So I can't put out a 2-prizer. I mean, I could, but I really, really don't want to. So, as much as I hate it, I think I'm going to go without the Genesect here. And I'm just going to stack the field with my 1-prizers. And I'm just going to hope that I get to draw into the Gholdengos, or that I get to draw into that I get drawn to like a Nest Ball to get it next turn. But those are really my two best options here. Okay, yeah, so the Arven can get me that next turn. That's fine. I will go ahead and Fighting Gong. Grab the energy, and we'll do the chip damage. There's no reason to not put down 70 here. But the big thing is we do not have to play down the first 2-prizer of the game, because they've already put down the first 2. So until we have a 2-prize knockout secured, there's no reason for us to put down a 2-prize Pokemon to give them the opportunity to get a 2-prize knockout. Another Noctowl. I'm very interested to see where this is going. A Judge. Okay. Well. Yeah, so there's the Raging Bolt. Okay. So they get the first knockout, but it's only a 1-prize knockout. So I do think we kind of have to go all in here. which is unfortunate because we will not get to use the Arven. We have to try to boss this up to get the 2-prize knockout. I don't really see another option. So yeah, we are. We're gonna go for the all-in here. And we'll lunar cycle. Nothing we can really thin with that. We'll flip the script. And we get the boss. But then we still need some help. We still need a superior or a vessel to have enough energy. We still get 3 more cards though, so let's see what we get. Yep, that'll do it. Would prefer the vessel, to be honest, because we only have 3 in the discard, but 3 will do it. So we're good. And then that puts us on the prize map to take 2-2-2 for the rest of the game. So that puts us in the lead by 1 turn. They can continue to try to trade with a 1-prizer, but I didn't leave anything that they can knock out with their Fan Rotom. So now they are going to attempt to just attack every turn with Raging Bolt and Energy Acceleration with the Ogre Pawns. But as long as I can produce a Gholdengo attack each turn for knockout onto their active, then I should be able to win from here on out. And also, you know, I get the extra draw from these guys, so I don't even need to use the boss this turn, which is nice. I will need to get another Gimmighoul on the field with 2 already in the discards. So I'm going to use Metallic Signal, which will let me search my deck so I can confirm if there's another Gimmighoul in here. There is not. So I need to Super Rod to get that back. Luckily, I already have enough energy between the retrieval. Do I actually? I do. 4, yeah. So I already have enough energy to secure the 5 for knockout. So we can afford to go Arven for Super Rod. So we can Super Rod in our Gimmighoul. And while we're at it, now we don't need to, yeah, we need those 4 and we don't need more than 1. So there's no reason to thicken the deck any more than that. We're just going to single Gimme. And we'll just grab it out. And then again, Lunar Cycle. Oh, no, that's not a good move, actually. We got saved by the Gong because I needed 5. I mean, there are still 5 energies in there, but that was an unnecessary, unforced error there. We still do get to draw 5 more cards, mind you. So odds are we'll probably get another energy out of all that. But... well, kind of. We kind of got an energy out of that. I'd rather save the metal here. So we'll do 1 more fighting energy out of the deck. And then that is going to be our 5 for knockout. And there's our other Ghoul. I knew we had one more floating around, but I didn't know whether it was in the prizes or not. I do need to practice slowing down and prize checking a little bit here in these last few days before Toronto, but this deck, there are only a few things that really need to be counted, and they're pretty easy to count throughout the game. Okay, so their play now is to try to stifle us and only leave one prizers out. And I mean, if they can't, I mean, honestly, if they can't get a Raging Bolt, but so yeah, they're going to try to slow us down. Yeah, we still have, yeah, we have the boss and we have everything, so we're good. We win. And actually, they didn't try to stall us. They just tried to get the one prize knockout to even it out. But we have boss. And we have superior, so GG. Yeah. And they knew it too. Increase that count to 7. Seven a run is not bad, I'm gonna be honest. The first game today was very, very short. It was a very bad draw on my opponent's part, but there was one game in the middle of that streak, in that first session of my streaming, where I made a lot of misplays. I'm not gonna lie. That was and 17-10 on the ranking. This is definitely the highest ranked player I've ever played. We're setting new records here. I've never been in 1700. I've never played anybody in 1700. So very exciting. Yeah, the victory music is appropriate here. No, I do not want to go first. Not a great start, though, but, you know, you're bound to have these every once in a while. I mean, look, the streak was always bound to come to an end eventually. Just so happens that, you know, here we are with this start. So many energies. Battle Cage was just completely useless. If this was Artisan, that'd be cool. Cherubi in the chat. That doesn't help at all. Cherubi's terrible. I was thinking it was... Oh, okay, there's Artisan. So yeah, like I said, that'll help a little. Because we can at least grab our Lunatone. Why is the game not letting me grab Lunatone? Oh, Pokemon, why are you doing this to me? Lunatone is a valid target. Why aren't you letting me pick it? That is a very frustrating glitch. Not a single part of this card that I can select. Fine. Don't know why my game is glitching out, but that sucks, because that is a big difference. That's a draw 3 cards. Maybe I get everything the next turn. I mean, I guess it doesn't make a huge difference for the damage, because I'm doing 70. But, yeah, that really stinks. Yeah, so now they get to do the 120. They do 90 to themselves, but, you know, who really cares about that? I mean, I guess on the other hand, in some ways, that did save me because the boss, but... I'm going to try this again, and I'm going to see if it lets me select Lunatone this time. Yeah, of course it does. Of course it does now. I don't know know what the difference was. Let's see if they have another boss, I guess. For now, we'll at least try to stifle their attacking me with this guy. It does put some energies in the discard pile, which enables their Sada, which kind of sucks, but... They already have 2 bosses in the discard, so... I'm hoping they don't have another one and a way to knock out Gholdengo. Or Gimme Ghoul, I should say. The Crispin will let them attach 2 so that they can do Thunderburst Storm. Oh, or they can do that, but... Great. Yeah, they run Prime Catcher. I don't know that this would have been any better. I think it probably would have been just as bad because of this bad start. But still, frustrating. And the start isn't really getting any better. At this point, I just kind of have to hope that they run out of resources before I do. Which is probably not likely. Though they don't seem to be drawing a lot of cards. I guess I'm going to keep thinning because I don't really expect them to... I don't really expect them to disrupt my hand, but I'm trying really hard to draw into the right cards here. Seems like we both kind of have lame starts, though theirs has been a little bit better. We started with triple Gust, which is kind of nuts. Probably just... Oh no, they're going to go back to the Slitherwing? Weird. And still have energy for a Teal Dance. Excellent. Sada, so now they're building up their energy restores here. If they actually have an energy switch, they can knock out with Thunderstorm Bolt. Now, they have their own unique little engine. Really funny that we're seeing Raging Bolt all the way up here. This is now the... I think this is the second game in a row I've played against Raging Bolt. My start is just terrible, though. Like, I don't even know what I'm really supposed to be doing with the start. So they'll discard 2 to knock out my Soul Rock. Puts them on 3. Kind of have to all in with the Gimme Ghoul here and hope I get Gholdengo. Oh, wow. Hope I get that card I top decked finally, and then we're going to actually put down another Soul Rock so that we can... we actually already have the knockout secured, but I want to draw more cards. Interesting. Do I go for the knockout on the Raging Bolt, or do I boss for something else? Let's start by seeing what I get off the coin bonus. Okay. Ironically, yeah, it is. It's just the Fez. They already have the other Gimme Ghoul. So we're just going to flip the script. And I still haven't really decided whether I'm going to knock out. Well, you know, it's always a question. Do you chase the prizes or do you chase the energy? In this case, I think I'm tempted to chase the energy. And this will force him to have another gust in order to KO my Gimme Ghoul. And it puts me on even prizes. So at some point, at 5, I needed to get on even prizes anyway. So we're going to see whether or not they get the Sada and the energy they need to get back to the Raging Bull attack. If they do, then this one is pretty much over. But I still think that's the right course of action, is to chase the energy there and block their one prize attacker. So they can go to Fez here and get another 3 cards. Oh, or just another Raging Bolt. Maybe the Fez is prized? Yeah, they get the Sada, so. Yep. I mean, as long as they have, you know, another energy to attach to this, then they're good. And they do, with the retrieval. Yeah, definitely. So we get the 3 back. Yep, just 1 turn behind. Even with that bad of start, to still come this close to winning the game is not bad. And it's not over. We have this knockout for next turn. So they are going to have to still get another Sada. Or a Gust well... Yeah, or a Gust to knock out with the Slitherwing. So they have to have one of those things. They have plenty of energy, so it doesn't really matter what they Gust. That's irrelevant. So there's not really much point to doing anything other than knocking out the active here. Yeah, if they have the Sada, and we know they have the energy already. If they have the Sada, then they have it. So I'll go ahead and draw my cards, but I have more resources, but not really needed. I'm a little thin. Five? Yeah. Yeah, we did the best we could to make a bad situation better, but assuming that they have the Sada, then yeah, that is the G's. Just attach the electric, and Bob's your uncle. They got us by 1 turn there, which is unfortunate, because they just got to start out a little faster than we did. I'll let them do all their damage, so it's fun doing 490. And all good streaks must come to an end. We will make that 7 and 1 for the day. It's alright, though. Still a pretty good run. See how many more wins we can get out of this 10. And we might actually play more than 10 today. We came in a couple under, 2 or 3 games under the goal yesterday, so I wouldn't mind playing a little extra. I get to go first. Yippee. Of course, I'm kidding. You do not want to go first with this deck, ideally. And ideally, you wouldn't start with a Gimme Ghoul. Of course, I get the Soul Rock, but only after. I'm also going to blame it partially, that slow start. I'm going to blame that partially on the glitch. There was a glitch there. I don't know if it would have changed the total course of the game, but the thing is, we have no idea what we're facing here. So the question that I currently have on my mind is how many of these items do I immediately play out and how much do I save? Because I have the Arven and the ability to go for the trolley next turn, I'm going to play the Nest Ball to get another Gimme Ghoul down. Because if we're item locked next turn, then the Arven into trolley next turn is impossible. And I want to make sure we have enough energy to do some stuff. So yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll attach the metal to the bench. And then we're just going to pass. The other problem, of course, being is if we do too many items, we spend our resources and then can get Ionoed. So we don't know if this is an Ionoing deck or a item locking deck or both. It could be either. So we don't. The bottom line is we have no idea from a Fez start what this is. So I'm going to play it about halfway. I'm going to use some of my items to get some setup going, but not all of my resources. Okay, so Dragapult. So it is an item locking deck, for sure. Okay. Air Balloon is the best top deck that I could have hoped for. We're gonna Vessel away an Arven. Ironically. So we can do this. We don't have a whole lot in this hand, but not bad. And again, we know that now we know we're dealing with an item locking deck, so we're gonna burn all of our items. I mean, it Ionos too, but that should be plenty for now. And the big thing is we get the knockout on the 3P, so we shall take that. And then next turn we have enough to secure the Fez knockout, should this be all they have. Still. They did get to flip the script though, so that's something. Still, I like our odds if things stay the way they are here. Interesting to bench the Ursaluna this early. I guess it doesn't hurt. still have 3 bosses available, so I'm gonna get double Dreepy down, so I can't block him out of Dreepy things again next turn. Evolving. I can still try to chase the energy. So that I get another boss. Or I can go for the 3 prize knockout to go up 3-0. Either way, we're looking okay right now. It's not the perfect start, but it's pretty good. I'm a fan. This I'm not a huge fan of though. The very slow pace. Okay. Sure. I respect it. Trying to feed me the Ursaluna. And there's the other energy. Okay, so we're fully stacked on energy now. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna need a superior. So let's go ahead and lunar cycle. And now we have some better candidates to discard all of this stuff with. Let's go ahead and go for the Fez for now. We'll take those. Not give them another flip the script unless they have another Night Stretcher, which they might, but I already played one. And they're only sitting on 4 cards, so taking away the main draw power seems like the right move. Also, the one that got the energy is the one that got evolved. I probably would evolve the other one just in case you get the rare candy. I mean, unless they don't run rare candy. That some of these decks don't. What rank are you, and how do you qualify for regionals? Great questions. Oh, and look at that, TCGJ. I am also a TCGJ. So right now, I am in the Arceus League. I'm at like rank 1670, which you start at 1500, and you get about 15 points per win, 15 points per loss, give or take. So I've been going pretty plus so far. Regionals, you don't have to qualify for. The only tournament that you have to qualify for throughout the season is the World Championships in August, which will be held in San Francisco at the end of August this year. So you need to get enough championship points from going to all the other events. It can be kind of challenging still getting into the regionals because you have to register for it online, and sometimes those registrations can get pretty competitive to get in. Like the European International Championships in London next month, those were sold out. The tickets for that were sold out within minutes of them, within like 1 minute of them going live, both for the first and second wave. So while it's not actually harder to qualify for those international championships than anything else, it can be more difficult to get registered for them at least. Also, welcome to the channel, Jay. Nice to meet you. I am also Jay. So on this channel, I guess I'm Jay-Zon, but you know what. So we're looking primarily for the Gust here. So, I mean, we've already played 2 bosses. There are 2 more floating around. So yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll lunar cycle because we've got the energy to spare here. So this will at least get rid of the jamming tower, but I don't know. Now that I come to think of it, I don't know if I actually did have the energy to spare. Oops. Yeah, that's what we call a misplay, ladies and gentlemen. But, you know, we could still make up for it here. Let's see what we get off the coin bonus. Okay, that's perfect. That's what we needed. We still, however, did not get the... card we really wanted. That's okay. So you see, now we're one short. We can do 250. And actually, if we have Vitality Band floating around, we can do the 260. And yeah, we haven't used our supporter yet. So let's go ahead and Arven. And we'll grab that Vitality Band. And actually, how many energies we got in here? 2. So yeah, we'll save the rod for now. But yeah, we will. We'll Vitality Band rather than playing a second Superior. And then, yeah, that 5 will be enough. And then they get to try hosting the best ever comeback in TCG Live history here, going 1-6. We'll see. Regionals are happening all the time, though. Especially in North America, we got like one every month. Toronto this month. End of February is Seattle. And then the following months we've got like Houston, Orlando, Indianapolis, LA. So they're kind of, they jump around, but they're kind of all over the place throughout the year. And then in June, the last points tournament is North America Internationals, the European counterpart for the rest of the season here. That'll be in New Orleans, which will be really fun. I'll be going to that one too. And I'm gonna make the trip to London. I know it's a long trip, and it's gonna be tough to. It's an 8-hour time change, so that's gonna be tough to overcome. But never been to London. Never been outside our, you know, latitude. No, the y-axis. You know, I've only ever been up and down. I've never been left and right. And then they will futilely attempt to, well, actually, maybe not so futilely. Normally, disrupting a Gholdengo is futile, but you never know. It might work. I can tell you what, I do need to use the restroom, so we'll be taking just a few second break here at the end of this one. But he will get to Phantom Dive for the 200, but he doesn't get to do anything else. Because the 60 is blocked by the Battle Cage. So let's start with drawing our 2 cards. Unfortunately, I can't shuffle things up any. And I know my superiors are at the bottom, which are kind of what I need. I have the boss I need, but... yeah, whole lot of nothing there. So there is one option we have here, but I can't do it and boss. So yeah, we're gonna pick up the Soul Rock. And then rebench it. And with that energy we got off the penny, we will Lunar Cycle. So we can at least have some more stuff for next turn. And we can go ahead and put some energy back in here. And unfortunately, I have to use the restroom right now. I gotta pee. So I don't normally like to rope and time out the clock, because I feel like that's kind of cheap. But I am going to do that here, because I can't attack. And I don't want to play any more cards, but I also want to get back in time to play my next turn. So here. He hasn't beaten me yet. That's good. We're okay. He does gust me though, and and Iono. Okay, well. Okay, well, there's one of the cards we need to potentially win here. Now, with the Super Rod, we did get to shuffle things up. He still needs the counter stadium, which he got, of course. I really appreciate it. I've been playing for about 1.5 years. I'm trying to get more competitive. Cool. If you don't mind me asking, where are you from? Totally okay if you're not comfortable sharing that, though, but I'm always curious to see where my fellow Pokemon players are located. I myself am in Oregon, so I'm over on the West Coast. So far this year, I've already been to the 3 North American regionals, which was Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, and Vegas. I got 20 championship points from Vegas, so I'd say that's my most successful tournament so far. But I didn't get much. I went 5 wins, 3 losses. Cali, but you move around a lot. Okay, cool. So we'll go ahead and play the Arven to counter, or the Artisan to counter that. Now we'll see if we can thin anything with the Artisan. I think we can. Maybe should have benched the Fez, because we knew he was probably going to secure a knockout that turn. I'll see what we get from the coin bonus. Oh, I like that. I think that's a win. Because, yeah, we need 7 energies. We need 7 energies for the knockout. Now we can discard 1 and then get 7 back, but we still need the metal to attach. So we actually need 8 energies for the knockout. So we'll go ahead and we'll Lunar Cycle. Let's get 3 more. Yeah, and so we can Fighting Gong for the other fighting. And then we just need enough energies to discard. Or enough cards to discard. So right now we have 1, 2. My head hurts now. Well, it's the same amount of cards, so let's see what we draw. If we attach, retreat, and then draw the 2 here. Well, and now we don't need to attach the energy, so yeah. GG. Then we got 4 energies left in here. And discard 2 more. We never got the boss, but that's okay. We didn't need it. Gholdengo can just straight up knock out a Dragapult. So, still only 1 loss today, which is pretty good. Oh, and there was one of the bosses riding in there. Still only 1 loss today, and that loss was a little controversial because they had a glitch on turn 1. The game wouldn't let me artisan out my Lunatone, so I missed out on one of my draws on turn 1, which was unfortunate. I don't know that that would have changed the result of the game, of course, but it, certainly didn't help. I'm going to have to clip that glitch and send it to the people running this game immediately. I'm kidding. It doesn't matter that much. But. See, I can see once you... level 25. This is my 2nd time around, though, I think. I don't know why they don't have level 125, but... whatever. So yeah, once you get past the Eternatus League, then you start at Master League at 1500. And you get about 15 points up and down per loss. So we're doing pretty good this season. This is definitely the highest I've ever been ranked before. So I'm on a very nice run. Playing some of the highest ranked people I've ever played before, so I feel like I'm getting good solid practice, and right now I'm in Masters 1.4. Okay. No, I don't want to go first with this. That is definitely a start. It's a very interesting start. I'm not sure if I want to bench another Pokemon. I'm going second. So there's no disruption. Dark energy. That looks like Gardevoir, but we'll see. Get a Mully. That's nice. Some more energy. Take it. And of course, they start with an undonkable Pokemon in the Mew. It's alright. Expecting donks is too much, I think. The other thing is when we have Trolley, I'd rather keep all these cards in my hand and just play the Trolley so I have, you know, a thinner deck. This deck doesn't really threaten 2 prize knockouts in the second turn, so I'm not really playing a prize game with them. I want to get a boss and Gust, so I'm gonna try to thin as much as I can. And so I'm gonna grab a Lunatone to match with my Soul Rock, and then go ahead and grab out. A lot of times I won't play the Genesect because it's a 2 prizer, and I don't want to give them the first opportunity to at a 2 prize knockout on their turn 2. But in this case, I think it's fine because again, I don't think they really have the ability to threaten that. And then we're just going to thin as much as we can because they do have this deck does have item lock capabilities if they're playing the Jellicent build, which right now it doesn't look like it, but it still could be. And I whiffed on the boss, unfortunately, but that's okay. We can still smack Mew. It's not really what I want to do, but you know, it's what's on the table. The only question left is, do we spend the other vessel? I think we've got enough energy here, so I think we don't. But I might come back to that as a decision I regret. We'll see. If we get item locked and we need those extra 2 energies. So they Nest Ball for the Frillish. So yeah, there's your item lock. Getting their energies into the discard to set up for Guardy later. They get double Curlia, which is pretty good. Would have been nice if I could have had a couple of Gusts to tamp that down, but now I don't get to play items this turn. I do get the triple evolution into Gholdengo, which is nice. And I can still get a knockout with Gholdengo. If that's what I want to do. I can retreat into Gholdengo and knock out the Frillish. It is weak to Dark, so I still need to use the 2 energies. And the bigger issue is that if I Lunar Cycle, then I don't have the energy in hand for that. So one thing I know for sure is I'm not going to coin bonus for 2 more than once here. So I'm going to coin bonus 2 of them, and I get the boss. Okay. So the boss makes this a little easier of a decision. Because I can still retreat and get one of these Curlia with the boss. So I'm definitely going to do that. I will retreat and bring up the Gholdengo. It does let me draw the 2, so I still get the coin bonus for 2 here. And then I boss. We'll attach return, and then we got the 2 we need for the knockout. Curlia, also weak to Dark, so still need the 2. And then, assuming that they have the Gardevoir, then we can try to shoot for the Gardevoir next turn. if we're not. I mean, if we're item locked, I don't think we'll be able to, but we'll see how hard they're going to commit to the Frillish here. We get Ionode instead, so maybe we'll get more of our energy out of the deck. I don't know. We're getting 5, plus all the draw. Yeah, so we're getting a couple energies. And we can get the Vitality Band if we want to go back to the... So there's their Guardy. So we got some options here. We got Prospects. They are going to go back to the item lock, though. We've got the 8 knockout on the Frillish to get us to even prizes, which is good. We can also Turo. Which is good, because I'd kind of like to pick up the Genesect. The Arven doesn't really help us at all this turn, so we'll save it for next turn. You know, when we can do some cool stuff like, I don't know, play items. Yeah, we're just going to Turo up the Genesect, because we don't need him anymore. And we'll start drawing. If we had an extra energy, I'd be happy to Lunar Cycle, but we don't. We only have enough for this knockout, so we'll take it. Still think we're in a good position. In general, this is a good matchup for us. Gholdengo does tend to give Gardevoir trouble. No idea what part of the game this is in. This music is not particularly pleasing. There we go. Much better. Skip to the next track already. Jeez.
New follower detected.
TCGJ, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. And thanks for hanging out. Always nice to have people come in and chat with me. I get kind of lonely. I work alone and I live alone, so I work from home, so that's actually kind of why I got into Pokemon again, because coming out of COVID, like, I was working from home, and so I wasn't really going out anywhere. I'd go see family occasionally, but it wasn't really enough, and I missed playing Pokemon. I played a lot, like, in the late 2000, like, 08 and 09, and then 10 and 11. And I actually hit the pinnacle of my Pokemon career when I'm not trying to brag, just saying, I won one of the regional championships. I was the 2010 Northwest Regional Champion in Portland. Completely different beast than it is today, mind you. We had like probably 240 people in our age division in Masters, where now it's more like 3,000 in the Masters division. So it's nothing like the people that win today, but I was really proud because I got to do that big thing and go on and play in nationals and got like top 32 out of the U.S. So it was really a lot of fun. These guys are gonna keep item blocking me, and it's not gonna make me any happier. It's only gonna make me more mad. Now I do have the fighting energy that I pulled off of that. Yeah. Back then, it also wasn't quite as big a deal to win a regionals. Like, nowadays, you get $10,000 and an automatic qualification into Worlds, which is huge, you know. Oh my god, they beefed it up. So now I gotta do 120 to knock out this Frillish. And as if that wasn't bad enough, they knocked out my Soul Rock. They knocked out my rock. This is painful. I will say, Gholdengo does not like to be item locked, that's for sure. But I don't appreciate it. I already got 6 energies in the discard. Which means I only got 3 more floating around here. The Battle Cage could help a little. Ay. What do I do? Can't play items. You know that much. We're gonna go ahead and draw our 2. It's really not any easier to knock out a Monkey Dory than it is this Frillish, unless I have Vitality Band, I guess. See, the other option is I could Artisan and then Air Balloon Retreat and do the 70. I think that might be the best move along, well, but then I can't Battle Cage. So then he can still just move 60 of it over. Yeah, I don't know that I have a really good option here. It just kind of stinks because I'm item locked. Okay, yeah, the Serral Edge is another... I'll tell you what, I'll show you something right after this game, how to look up the decks. That'll kind of help your competitive edge a little bit here. We're all psychic, so I can't really stall with that. Yeah, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna Artisan to the Soul Rock. I don't really love this play, but we're gonna do it anyway. And then the only question is, are we gusting or not? Doesn't really matter who we hit. If we're hitting the active, then we're going to Arven. So I think we are hitting the active, so we are going to Arven. We actually don't have the Vitality Band, which kind of sucks. The Premium Power Pro isn't really going to help unless we Gust. But the thing is, if he's going to evolve into Jellicent, then we can Gust around the item lock. But, yeah. So that's the main reason I'm doing this. But no, we could try to kill the Guardy and have enough energy left over for maybe the Jellicent the next turn. First, we're going to get Iono. Really want to be able to play that Battle Cage the next turn. Some of my favorite music in the game, but in all of the video games, right here, by the way. I think this is the Lance Champion battle. I think the only one I like more than that is the Cynthia Champion battle music. Best off-meta decks. Well, I'll show you that too. I'm going to show you a way to just look at the whole meta. I don't know if you're familiar with Limitless TCG. It's how most of the professional players and professional analysts go and look at the different decks. Yeah, so if I'm him, I'm just continuing the battle with Oceanic Gloom here. Yeah, and that's what he's going to do. He's just going to keep on beating up my rock. Because he knows he can keep the item lock, and if he evolves, then I can't... If he evolves, then I can Gust around it, so there's no reason for him to risk that happening. So I'll go ahead and use the Artisan just so I can look and see what's in here. We only have a Lunatone. We do have the Penny, but the odds of me drawing that are kind of low. I still need 3 energies. So, yeah, out of all of these cards, I would have to draw the Penny and the energy, which out of 4 cards out of 25 is just a statistical no-no. Yeah, he's just got us in a nice little pickle here. You know, at the very least, we can draw the 2 cards and see what we get. He's still got 2 energies in discard, so we can't hold anybody because of Psychic Embrace. So, yeah, this sucks, but we're just kind of stuck. I discarded too many energies early. Now they're all stuck in here in the prizes, so it's just not. I think this game is just not happening. I guess we'll air balloon retreats because I want to save the energy just in case I got the penny, but that's not gonna help. We can at least battle cage to make it a little harder for him to do that. That helps a bit. The one saving grace here of him keeping this item lock is he can only do 20 damage at a time with that. But the Monkey Dories are a problem too, obviously. So, I mean, he's also playing this very slow. And, well, of course, until he gets the 6 cards off the draw, but... So yeah, this is and of course, he instantly gets the counter stadium. Man. What a play. Yeah, I think we're just out of energies. He's just gonna Oceanic Gloom us to death from here. That's the funny thing. We can't fight his Frillish. We're getting beat by... We're getting literally beat up by this guy. Look at that stupid face. Item lock is very tough for Gholdengo to overcome. We are incredibly item heavy. And now we have 7 energies in the discard. And all he's got to do now is just follow the energy. If I'm him, I'm just putting it all into this Gholdengo. I mean, he's going after the Lunatone, but that makes no sense. He should just go after the Gholdengo, because if he knocks out this energy off the field, then it's over. I definitely don't have enough to knock out his Frillish. I don't think I have enough to knock out his Frillish anyway. At this point. Because I only had 1 energy left in there, and the penny could have gotten that extra energy off the Soul Rock, but he knocked it out first. So, I'm pretty sure this game is just over. I'm not really sure if I really need to keep playing it out. And there's no way to gust block him either. I guess I'll just at least try to play a little faster, because this is painful. Painful to watch, I'm sure. It was a very boring match. He's playing it right, though. I mean, eventually he's gonna run out of damage counters to move over. I mean, he's not really playing that much faster than me, but... What are you gonna do? Stupid control deck. What's funny is that knocking out the Lunatone doesn't get him any closer to victory. He's got to take two prize knockouts to win here. I'm gonna try to just thin. Yeah. So there's only 2 energies in here. So there's no way to get this knockout. I mean, I guess at this point, I'm just gonna keep drawing cards until something changes. But, yeah, it's just kind of silly, because I made the mistake against this deck of just letting too many of my energies fall into the discard. Let's see, so there's 1, 2, 9, and one more. So there is one prize, but yeah, at this point it's just draw pass, draw pass. I mean, the real question is, can he win before he decks out? That's really the only question. So I guess at this point I'm not even going to keep drawing because if he's going to keep up this item lock to win, he's got to, he's got to get the knockouts before he draws his 13 cards. I got the other energy, but again, it's still not enough to... I need 120, and that's only 100. So. So once he gets to 80, which is 2 more Oceanic Glooms, then I will retreat. And he just thinned his deck by 1 more card. How many Ionos has he played? 3. So I could have another Iono chilling to reset everything. I have already used my Turo, so I can't just pick this damage up, unfortunately. He's retreating. Interesting. Played a supporter for the turn? No. Well, at this point, he feels like he's in the driver's seat, I guess, because he can take this 2 prize knockout and then can go after another one. And sure, you get down to 1 prize. That's great. And then you still need another 2 prize knockout next turn. Oh, but he's probably got something to switch out, like a Turo. No, he is Miracle Forcing, so he's letting the floodgates open, which is weird. Because now I can use items. He's probably so probably what that is he's sitting on a Ursaluna. Well, yeah. So then he just needs 1 energy and to move over 20. So he would need another Guardy, but that doesn't really matter. With what I have, knocking out the Guardy is the best play. It's really the only play. There's not really anything else I can do. I don't want to bench anything that's 2 prize, or 1 prize for that matter. So yeah, it's just this. Such a tease. I need 7. Which kind of puts me in the same boat as before with having all the energies in the discard, but it's the only option. I do have another Superior, assuming we don't get item locked again, but there's my other energy out of there. But then assuming he has Rare Candy into Guardy, what is that? Oh, Legendary Cape. That's kind of a cool play. Put it up to 190, so yeah, he can put the 130 on there. So yeah, that's GG. Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm not. No offense to you, but that was not a fun game. This is the kind of... I don't like playing against control decks. I need to get better at it, but My deck doesn't really function against control decks, so I guess that's more the issue here. So yeah, now you can put all the energy on there and snipe. I'm gonna prepare the other window though. Showing you. All right, so that is a loss, unfortunately. So we go down to 8-2, but that is our goal for 10 games today. I'm still probably going to play a little bit more. But first, before we go into that, I'm going to move my cat out of the way. Oh, wait. No, go on. You can't sit in front of the monitor, silly. I'm not completely alone. I do have a little bit of company. All right, so I'm going to add a screen cap here, or a window cap, quick, of Limitless. There we go. From Limitless. There we go. Okay. Now let me fit this to screen. Yeah, we don't really need all of that. There we go. Okay, so this is limitlesstcg.com. When you get to the front page, you can kind of see the top decks here. But there are two main methods that we like to use to look up what the different decks are. WCat, yeah. Her name is Ysera. She's named after one of the dragons from World of Warcraft. Anyway, so my two recommended methods are to go either to tournaments, and you can look at the tournament results. So, like for instance, right after Las Vegas, we can look and we can see what did well in Las Vegas. We can see Tord, most famous player in the world, won with Mega Absol. So you can just go see his list. You can see his exact 60. You can even copy it to your clipboard and you can paste it right into Pokemon TCG Live. And you can just immediately start playing with this, assuming you have all the cards unlocked. Easy peasy. But if you like, for instance, the Gholdengo deck, you see Nicholas Moffat got 6th place. We can go and we can see that he did this with the Goldie Rocks deck. I will let you know, I'm the only one I've ever heard it call. I'm the only one that I've ever heard call it Goldie Rocks. That is the name I like for it. Most people call it Gholdengo Soul Rock, which I think is boring. But you can see this is pretty much the same. They're running Secret Box instead of Trolley. I like the Trolley better. But this is kind of what I would say is the introductory method for building decks. I think this is good when you're just starting out and trying to get a little bit more competitive. But when you start to get a little bit more advanced, the other thing you can do is you can go into the Decks tab. The Decks tab, first of all, you can set the format. So the default is the current NA format of what we're playing. But you can edit it. You can change the format. You can do all that. But we'll leave it for now. What you can see is what the best performing decks are in terms of championship points for this meta. So we can see Gholdengo is the number 1. Dragapult's number 2. Charizard's number 3. Guardy, Absol, blah, 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 blah. So, and you see their share. So by far, Gholdengo, the most popular. But what I love about this tab is we can go into Gholdengo. We can see the staple cards that are in here, but this doesn't give us a straight 60. But if we go to open detailed card breakdown, what we can see is an average of how many of each card is run in the decks that got points. So we can see the most popular variants, which is 93 different decks that have gotten points in tournaments so far in this meta. They run these cards and in these amounts. So we can see when we see 3.77 Gholdengo EX, that means 100% of players play at least 3 Gholdengo. And then about 77% of players play 4 Gholdengo, where 23% only play 3. Similar with the Gimme Ghouls, that number is going to be a little bit different because there are other Gimme Ghouls that are played. So you can see 22% play one of the Call for Family. And, you know, then some people are playing it with like a Mega Lucario and a Riolu, but that's only 6% of players are doing that. Are playing like a 1-1 Riolu Mega Lucario line. 17% of people are playing Mega Mawile, probably to counter Cornerstone. 14% of people are playing a Hops Cramorant, which is interesting. I don't personally prescribe to that card, but it's good to know what people are playing. And then 44% of people are playing a Mega Lopunny, which is cool. And then most people play 2 Soul Rock. I actually play 3, but you can see only 2% of people are with me on that one, but that's where I deviate. But one of the most interesting things I like to look for this is what A-Spec are people playing. It's the most important card in your deck, so it's really good to know what they're playing. 72% of people are playing 1 Prime Catcher, which of course you can only play 1 A-Spec, so. Cramorant was OP in the pre-release. I actually had that. I had the Hops deck in that pre-release, and it was super good. I actually bought and built 2 Hops decks because I thought it was going to be the deck, and my nephew plays. So I was like, we're both going to play Hops. And I came off of Hops pretty quick. He did it probably after like a month. Anyway, so Prime Catcher is the number 1 A-Spec in the deck. And then we see all the way down here, 17% of people playing Secret Box, 11% of people playing Trolley. So I'm in this camp. I like the Trolley the best because it just, you set up so consistently with it, especially when you're running 4 Arven. You can see, and you know, all but 1% of people running the 4 Superior, all but 4% of people running the 4 Arven. So those are your kind of auto staples, and then it kind of goes down from there. I'm actually think I'm running 4 Vessel. I have to look actually, but. So that's, you know, and that's the thing, is when you're looking for deck edits, this is what I like to go, you know, I like to get inspired by what everyone else is playing. And the data is all here. The problem is the data is only here after the tournaments. So you can get some insight, but like for EUIC coming up in 4.5 weeks here, the meta will change the day before EUIC. So we won't have any data like this going into EUIC with the new meta. We just kind of have to know what new cards are coming in and just kind of guess. There are people that have like, you know, play teams where they play test and share notes. Really helps them, gives them a huge advantage. But then we can see some of the one-offs. Every once in a while, you know, like 1% of people running all of these cards. Battle Cage is actually one of those. I think what this is telling me is my Battle Cage is probably too situational. I could probably replace that with something else. Over half the people are running Elena's Aid, and I've seen that card do pretty well, so I might consider that one. Also, people running a Picnic Bastic. I'm not a big fan of that card, but everybody's running a Poffin. And most people are only running 2 Air Balloon, which I think is crazy. I think 3 Air Balloon is great in the deck. I'm one of the people running 4 Boss, so 3.27. I bet most of the people that are doing this are also the 11% of people and the 17% of people that are not running Prime Catcher. But so there's little things that you can figure out about that too. Which, by the way, I love the 9% of people that are playing Erica's Invitation. That card is sneaky good in Gholdengo, I think. I think it's too much for me to run it. It's not popular enough. I think it's too much of a risk. And then you'll notice some cool little patterns, right? Like 29% of people that play Lavencia. 34% of people playing the Lightning Energy, so you can see why those would be near the same. I like the 1 person running Moltres in here with 1 fire. That's great. But I mean, that's just kind of how I built the deck I have now. You know, kind of looking at the trends and then just play testing on my own and seeing what I like to play and what fits with my play style. But you can do that with any deck. You know, if you want to start playing Well, and then to answer your other question, what are some of the rogue decks, right? Like, so you can start going down this list. If you don't want to play one of the regular decks, you can start seeing, you know, like, what are some of the other decks? Like, my favorite Pokemon is Garchomp. So I can go look in here and see if there's any Garchomp on here. There is. There are 7 Cynthia Garchomps. So then I can start going in and saying, okay, well, what do people run in their Cynthia's Garchomp deck? And I can start looking, and oh, you know, for some reason, I never thought to play, Fighting Gong in the deck because it only looks for basics, and that's not that great. But I mean, it's clearly people are running 3 in it. I'm being satirical there. Obviously, that's not the case, but you know, like I'm always running 4 power weights, but everyone else is only running 3, so I'll go down 1 on it. And then again, you know, 50% of people running Neo with 7 fighting, where I think my version of the deck only has 5, which is just not enough. I need to improve that, but I wish this deck was more competitive. I hope it will be after the rotation in April, but because I love this deck and I love this card. Anyway, I'm gonna get back into the games for now, but hope that was informational. Jigglepitty, hello, welcome to the stream. Palafin EX with Mega Lopunny. Okay. I can see the pattern there and where that, you know, switching and all of that would go. I wonder at the consistency, but I know Lopunny can be pretty consistent right now. We've got a person in our local league that exclusively plays Lopunny, Lopunny Dusknoir. So it can be kind of annoying to deal with because it's so frustratingly aggressive in the early game that sometimes you just can't do anything against it. I don't know which deck to bring to regional. I mean, the default answer is Gholdengo. I think it's the best deck. I think it's the only S tier deck right now. That is certainly what I'm playing, so I'm advocating for it. But ultimately, that is a personal decision. You gotta look at the meta, and you gotta figure out what you like to play, and oh god, another Mew. Great. I'm gonna get item locked again, I can feel it. I can feel it coming. In the air tonight. Hold on to your energies. I also do sing a little bit. I don't usually sing to the stream, but upon request, maybe. Oh, no, okay, so this is more likely another Raging Bolt. That's good. I was tired of playing against item locks. That's good. Desperate times, benching the Fez this early, I think. We're gonna grab out our 2 rocks, which will let us do a little bit of lunar cycling. We didn't get an Arven, unfortunately. So now the question becomes... No, it's not a question. My question was whether or not we save it for the Genesect, but we already have 2 Gholdengos. So there's no point in doing that. So instead, we'll just attach this, and we'll mine our Errand Running. Oh, no. No way. You gotta be kidding me. Ah, I got 2 medals prized. What is happening? That is just bad luck. And something I should have prize checked before this moment. I mean, the other obvious answers are the other top meta decks right now, which is... Oh, God. It's this deck, which is even worse. It's Mega Venusaur. Roadie. Because it runs... The main problem with this deck is it runs the Toad Scroll, which stops me from using these, essentially. I'm getting any cards from my discard for my abilities or trainers. Which sucks. Well, he's got the knockout on my Gimme Ghoul, which means my one metal energy is headed to the discard. It does take forever to set up. It's not a very consistent deck. I will give you that. However, you know, I could have had the knockout on the Chikorita this turn, I suppose, but I really want to get the knockout here. And I've got the Arven, so I should be able to get that. Assuming I have Vitality Band and Trolley. I can get myself all nice and set up this turn. The only question is, do I go for the other Gimme Ghoul, or do I go for the Fez? I think it's the Fez. I don't need more than one Gimme Ghoul on the bench. I definitely need the other... I definitely need the Genesect to get Gholdengo, though. And then I've got 2 energies in the discard, so I've got more than enough to Lunar Cycle here. Oh, good. Another energy. Excellent. Still get to draw 5 more cards. But nothing else. The Gholdengo draws, doesn't it? Draws and draws and draws. Yeah. So we'll flip the script. Then we're going to Superior, discarding a couple of these. And I need to Superior every turn until we grab one of those metals out of the discard. Oh my goodness, wait a minute. I didn't get enough energy to get the knockout. That is a very unfortunate misplay. I miscounted that by 1 energy. Yikers. Well, we're doing the 150. Now we're hoping he doesn't have enough to get the knockout next turn. I might have been paying a little bit too much attention to the stream thing. Whoops. But hey, at least we didn't knock him out, so he doesn't get to Fez. I'm looking for a silver lining. So I actually played this deck at Milwaukee Regionals. Worst tournament performance I've had all season. I dropped after going 1-4-1. So that's 1 win, 4 losses, 1 tie. It was rough. Yeah, and he can't get the knockout either, so, you know, we're still okay. For now, at least. We're okay. I mean, we're not great, but we're, you know, we're in there. But I mean, every time somebody plays this deck against me, it does fantastic.
Hey gang, I'm Brendan Lee Mulligan, and this is my last meal.
What on earth are we listening to? Why did we get to Brendan Lee Mulligan? How did we get to Brendan Lee Mulligan?
Exactly.
I don't mind Brendan Lee Mulligan, but so we are going to retreat out to the Soul Rock, and we're going to try to save our Gholdengo by doing the Cosmic Beam for knockout. Oh, it's because our soundtrack ran out. All right, well, let's go back to Diamond and Pearl. I'm considering playing Gholdengo, but I'm concerned about Zoroark with Toad Scroll matchup. Yeah, so it's all about what you think the meta share is going to be. If you think that you're going to face that more than once or twice, then yeah, it's something to be concerned with, right? But I'm of the opinion that you're not likely to face that specific matchup more than once or twice that day. If you faced it 3 times and really got, screwed over by that, that would just be poor luck in matchup, which does happen. But then again, that can happen to anybody, no matter which deck you play against, right? Bad luck with matchups is the #1 reason people go home on Saturday cursing the RNG gods, right? So I personally don't usually play to that. I don't usually subscribe to that strategy when choosing my deck, because ultimately you can't control what you're going to get matched up against. You can only control guessing what you think is going to be in the meta and what is going to be there that day. And I swear to God, if he plays down the Toad Scroll right now, I'm going to lose it. I'm glad I held my stadiums. Okay, he didn't. So we can knock it out right now and at least try to forestall this a little bit. Also, we can pull our energies back before he gets to lay that down, which makes me happy. Makes me very happy, in fact. Before I forget, I'm definitely doing that this turn. I think we're just drawing. Beautiful. We even got the counter stadium. Maybe this is the day. Oh, I forgot to superior. I'm playing too fast. I mean, at this point, he's got to get that back where he has already played his maximum rod. So his ace spec's already gone. So he's got to get that back and got to get another force vitality thing. But anyway, back to my thought process. You have to figure out which deck has the least bad matchups that you think you'll run into. Knowing the local meta can help a little bit, but I don't know about you, but I'm not from Toronto, so I have no idea. Plus, you're gonna have a lot of travelers, so usually when I look at that big meta board, Thorork's on there, but it's not super high. Same with this deck. Like, this deck is not ideal for playing Gholdengo, but I don't know. It's not likely to be a problem. I'm not afraid enough of Toad Scroll to not play Gholdengo, and it's the best deck in the meta. Even like this game, where they have Toad Scroll, and their deck is built around being able to quickly evolve and put out grass Pokemon. And yet, I'm still in the driver's seat in this game right now. I'm not saying I'm going to win, but it's looking okay. Especially if I can get a Gust to get 8 energies to knock out this Venusaur. But first I really need to make sure the Toad Scroll doesn't stop me. Which he's probably grabbing it right now. I can feel it. Okay, that's an okay Toad Scroll, actually. I'm okay with that one. That one's just fine. It's the other Toad Scroll that's a nightmare. Yeah, I got lucky. That was definitely a misplay where I should have played the superior. There's always a chance that you get Iono'd, but that's fine. If you get Iono'd, it's not a big deal. But now the question is, can we get boss? We got 3 more bosses in the deck. He's gonna get the knockout here, so I won't get to do Lunar Cycle unless I get my hands on another Soul Rock, but I can do the Fez. And he does bench the Toad Scroll just to make me mad. But that's okay. Our win condition right now is boss. Is boss for the Venusaur. So I'm just going to look, and I'm going to see what we have first. We do have all 3 bosses in there. And I still got 2 more energies with the Superior. So right now we need 8 energies and the boss. We'll go ahead and grab the 2 energies just to thin, so we have a better chance of getting the boss. And then I don't think there's anything else we can do to thin. We can't really play the Arven because then we can't play the boss. So I'm gonna draw those 2, and there it is. Beautiful. Sometimes you just get it, you know? It is what it is. Even a matchup as bad as this. I mean, I guess it's not bad, but... That wouldn't even let me launch the last attack. Once you get that far, I mean, might as well let me do it. Oh well. I won't be picky about how I win, I suppose. Seems a little ungracious. Alright. I got probably a few more games in me still. I know the goal was to do 10 total today, so we're doing a couple extra reps, which is nice. I had a little extra time tonight. Last night, once I got off work, my nephew wanted to play Stardew Valley with me, so we did that a little bit. And then I got online and played a few games and started streaming. Then Tuesday nights are my game night with my friend Shane. My best friend Shane. So you can come see him and I play whatever random game we're playing on Tuesday nights. And then I played after. So I only got like 7 games in yesterday. It wasn't as much as I would have liked. Oh god, right back into it. This guy. On the other hand, there is donk potential here if he doesn't get another basic on the field. And he gets the other Bulbasaur down. Feels bad. Why didn't he play the Bulbasaur? Oh, that is a mistake. That is a mistake we shall punish him for vehemently. Alec Itzadel Diablo, hello. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, we've got the fighting gong for the energy. So yeah, we just need the ability to retreat. Yeah, we already got the Premium Power Pro, so we've got the extra damage. Booyah. I don't know why he didn't bench the Bulbasaur, but... Again, I will not complain about the method in which we pick up our victories. Greetings from Chile. Home of our former world champion. Hello. I know not everybody from Chile knows each other, though. I'm not trying to say anything like that. But Fernando getting the big Worlds win in 2024. It was fun watching that happen live. The most unlikely of decks, the quad Iron Thorns. Good stuff. In Hawaii. See if we can win another coin toss here. Nope. I do wonder though how much getting a world champion in your country picks up like the local meta. Like, do more people start coming to game stores and stuff when they realize, oh, I can do it too, you know? I don't know if I really count that game as an actual game towards my 10 total, but since I'm already in overtime, I guess it's all gravy from here. But yeah, I'm really hoping that. Oh my God, what are we doing? You know, I just need to get out. I just need to get out of this hell. That's the reality. I am stuck. I am stuck in grass hell right now, and I need to just get out. I need to cut my losses for today. I mean, cut my wins at this point, and just get out. There is a small question here of whether or not I lunar cycle, but I don't think it's really a question because I'm not really interested in doing 70 to this. I need the boss to kill that thing. And I'm not going to get it anyway, so we're okay. We're just going to do this. We're going to Arven for the air balloon and the earthen vessel to get more energies next turn. And then we're going to... We don't really need to do 70 to this. That doesn't really help us. Yeah, so there's the Toad Scroll. So now our goal is to get this thing off the field. Which is funny because, you know, this early, it doesn't really matter. We only have 1 energy in the discard. You know, we do, of course, have to be a little bit careful here about not discarding too many energies when, you know, their goal is to stop us here. And there's our boss. Beautiful. More good cards that we like to see. I don't know why so many people are playing grass up here. This is like the highest ranked I've ever been, and I'm finding out some interesting things. That up here, there's a lot of Raging Bolt, there's a lot of grass. Now, I know that right now the game itself is trying to push us into playing grass decks, so I'm wondering if maybe that's part of it. And yeah, once again, they're going to block me from getting more energies back, which kind of sucks. So, I mean, I just need another boss is the answer here. Yeah, so one of them is prized, but I got 2 more in there. Odds are not with me drawing it, but I do get 5 more cards here. This is getting into a little bit danger zone, but we're going to do it anyway. So if I get the boss, then we're great, but I did not, unfortunately. Hey. So instead, I think we Arven, ironically, for one of these, because we're out of energies in the deck otherwise. So yeah, we just need to thin and get the boss next turn, but we're not going to try to knock this. That would be folly at this point, because then we don't have any energies left. We have to knock this out, which sucks because he did successfully slow us down. Not much we can do now. I will say this much though, for you. Jippity. You know, you said you were afraid of this very thing, and here we are having to deal with this very thing. 2 to 3 games in a row. Like, if you count the donk, I mean, we donked it, so it's not that big a deal, really, but... Toadscroll, yeah, I mean, Toadscroll is a problem for Gholdengo. There's no doubt about that. No one's arguing it. I just don't think I'll face it that much at regionals. I could be wrong, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. I certainly hope it's not what's going to happen. And of course, the boss was the next card. Excellent. Love that for us. And now I really want the counter stadium. So I can knock this thing out, and hopefully they can't immediately go back to it. Perfect. Well, maybe not perfect. I don't really want to give them an artisan. But as long as I get 1 turn of superior energy retrievals, I don't think that really matters. Yeah, I think the numbers are still favorable to play that, so he has to have the ability to get back the both the Pokemon and get the stadium in order to continue to block me. If he does, then I'm kind of toast, because we already got 8 in here and 2 on the field, so there's only 1 more energy floating around. I can't get any more knockouts. So yeah, I mean, if he's just got it in hand, then I'm screwed. But if I get 1 turn to get 2 superiors off here, then I'm fine. I'm golden. He gets the Forest of Vitality back down. It's kind of annoying. And he gets the Iono. So he gets 6 more cards. If he gets the Max Rod, we're toast. Doesn't look like he has it. Going for the Fez, perhaps? Nope. Mega. Alright. Oh, there's that. The promo one. That's pretty. I like that. So he can move enough to knock out here. He's putting a lot of his energy in harm's way, but I think getting the knockout is the right move here for sure. He's gonna retreat and put up the Mega. Interesting. It makes sense though, because my best win condition is to get is to get 4 and 4. But I can also do 3 and 1. That would also be fine. So if I get the Gust this turn, that wouldn't be so bad. I can go after that. The key is to get my 2 superiors. TCGJ, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate the company. I'll be playing again tomorrow night before I fly out on Friday, and then I won't be streaming until I get back on Monday, but you're always welcome to stop by whenever I'm streaming. It'll be nice to see you again. I know it's nice meeting you. Let's see. Let's go ahead and do coin bonus for 2 here. Problem is to knock out Mega Venusaur. We got to get all 8. Which is not impossible, but not going to be easy. So we're going to try to draw an extra card here with Arven. It'll get us one of our superiors and our air balloons so we can retreat and get one more. But we are out of energies in the deck. We run out so fast with Gholdengo. Thank you. Good luck is always welcome. Alright, so out of 16 cards, we're going to draw 3. And we need at least one of those to be the... one of those 3 superiors. No dice there. Unfortunately, we only get one more card. Nope. No dice. No dice, no joy. The other option we can go with, though, is we can still superior. And then we can lunar cycle. It's better than doing nothing. We'll see what we get off these 3. Yeah, the deck is really, really being stubborn with us right now. Trying to let this guy back in, and I don't like it. But I'm gonna wait. I hate giving him the knockout with Jungle Dump, but I think it's really the only move we have here. There's no point in doing 150 to him, because he's going to heal 30. And that puts us 260 away, so it's an extra energy we need. And then we get Iono'd. Ooh. I mean, at least we got some energies back in the discard, I guess. But still, if we have the counter stadium now to knock it out, but if he gets the max rod and gets the tennis scroll down again, we're still screwed, so... That's still what we're playing against here. Yeah. Oh, he's not playing Max Rod. Okay, he's playing Secret Box. Very interesting. Okay, he gets to Meganium. So that's a little bit tougher for us to get that going. This puts us in an awkward energy space too, because I'd love to Super Rod some of these back in, but... might not be the best move. We did get the Fez though, so that's a nice top deck. Take that. I don't have anything in there. Still got 3 of our superior energy retrievals though, so we've still got a good shot at getting this knockout. So we kind of draw it. And then the question is, like, do we gust or not? I don't know. It starts with drawing these 5 cards and seeing what we get. Ah, okay, we got the penny again. It's pretty crazy. We kind of need 2 superiors anyway, unless... well, okay, let's see what we draw from the last one. Yeah, maybe we'll get the superior here. That'd be nice. Nope. So in that case, I guess we are lunar cycling, which is crazy. We still didn't get any superiors off the draw. That is insane. How are we whiffing so hard on those? The game is not with us, from what I can tell. It does not want us to win. Okay. We could still get the knockout, I think, on the Meganium here. Which I think is the better play. So we're... well, it's the best play we have, anyway. So yeah, we're going to do this. Yeah, so we'll just take the Meganium. And it's going to leave us with still 8 in the discard, but at least we have some energies. We get to at least take one of the prizes, and then we have to put together 9 energies next turn for the knockout on the Mega. We had the Vitality Band. We could have retreated attached to the other one, but that's not an option for us. We get the boss at least, so if they're going to try to hide behind one of the ogre pawns, we could boss, but we need double superior here, and we got 3 in the deck. The problem is still the ever-looming threat of the Toad Scroll, which they don't seem to have a way to get it back, which is the one redeeming quality here. We knocked out both. We've knocked out 2 of his Toadstools and 1 of his Toad Scroll early. It might have actually been 2 Toad Scroll. I'd have to go back and look. But... yeah, so he gets the Jungle Dump off. And so then it's simple. Can we put enough energy together? We got 9 in the discard. Let's take a look at what we have here. Yeah, so we've got the 1 energy, so we just need 2 of the superiors. We have an Arven. So mathematically, I believe it is impossible for us to not get what we need here, but I hope I didn't speak too soon. We're going to draw the 5. Is there anything we can do to Thin? I don't think so. Okay, so we got 6 cards left in the deck. We're going to draw 3. So it is still statistically possible, but then we can just draw the other 3. Yeah, Lunar Cycle. Yeah, we got it. We're good. Thank the Lord. Every day, praise the Lord. Let's see. Eat it, grass. Speaking of Grass Punch 23, hello there. I punched the grass for you? I mean, I'm having quite the night so far in terms of win-loss record. I'm kind of don't want to go to bed, but I probably should. I have a flight that leaves Friday morning at 5, so I got to be at the airport at like 3. So I really can't afford to stay awake too late. Let's see, I've done an extra 3 games. Let's do 1 more. And at 1,700. This is the first time I've ever broken 1,700 mark. Very nice. We'll play 1 more. Donk or whatever it is. Even if it's a fast game, we're going to do 1 more. And then we will go to bed. We'll raid somebody else, another nice Pokemon TCG player out there. We'll raid them. We'll pass off the good fortune. And then we shall call it for the evening. Whoa, 1781. Let's calm down a little bit. I just get into 1700 and I see that. Come on now. Seems like it's a little excessive. No, I don't want to go first. As a matter of fact. By the way, shout out to the Trading Card Post, my sponsor. Our local game store. I need to do that more often. They are generous enough to pay all my tournament entry fees, which is very nice. A Ditto? How do people that play Ditto start with Ditto so much? I don't get it. They don't run more than like one, right? Like, how are you starting with this thing all the time? Doesn't make sense. We got the Arvin though, so assuming our trolley's not prized, it is a promising start. Oh, we got a big match coming up. I can hear it in the music. The big Pokemon's about to come out. Is that Palkia? Dialga? It's not Giratina. Giratina's music is completely different. Mew. Interesting. Okay. Naturally, makes sense. Grab out those Hoots. And they can Crispin next turn to do the 100, 120. So if they can't Crispin and Boss though. Yeah, we're just gonna go for setup. I know I could Boss and knock out one of those Hoots, but I would rather set up for the future. I'll go ahead and lay the 70 onto Mew. Why not? And they're probably going to get a knockout this turn. I don't see them getting 2 prizes, though. Unless they run Counter Catcher. Or Prime Catcher. Okay. Interesting. They could try to lock me in with Sob. In which case I would be probably trying to gust for a 1 prize knockout, but they do Crispin, so I mean that would suggest they are going to go for the Torrential Pump. Oh, Vitality Band. Yeah, that makes sense. So they can get a 2 prize knockout. I mean, we have the counter knockout, as long as we can get 2 more energy, or 3 more energies. It's actually a harder task than I anticipated. We will get to draw many cards, though. The question is, do they go after one of the Gimme Ghouls, or are they going to hit the Lunatone? I think the Gimme Ghoul makes more sense, but yeah, the Lunatone too, because then I could just drop another Soul Rock to draw another 3 cards. Either one is good. Still gets them the first 2 prizes of the game. I applaud them. Well done. All of their energies are gone, but that helps with the energy problem. It doesn't completely fix it. We still need to draw 1 more. But is not bad. Could be worse. Could definitely be worse. There we go. We're good. Just because we're good doesn't mean we're going to stop, but we are good. Is there anything I can do with that? Let's see. What do I want? I don't want to play the counter stadium here. Because then they're gonna pitch the Mew and make it harder for me to get that next turn 2 prize. I don't think there's a basic that I really want, unless I get another. Yeah, the rocks aren't really gonna help me here. I suppose I can grab one, and then if there's another knockout, I could grab another one. But it's probably the rock that would get knocked out. Which I guess it's fine. It's a 1 prize knockout. I might as well grab it. And then we'll flip the script. Okay. See, I didn't really want to use the superior for 2, but I guess I have to. Yeah. Actually, no. If I'm knocking out the active, there's no reason I can't just Arven for the vessel. Yeah, that works better. I like that better. We don't need the extra Gholdengo. Play a Vitality Band of my own. So now the question becomes, can they get the return knockout? So then this is the turn where I would like to do the counter stadium. So if I gust up the Mew to get the 2 prize knockout and then play down the Artisan, then they won't be able to get rid of the Mew with discarding from the area zeros. So I mean, their strategy appears to be to build up the Pikachu twice, which I guess they could do with 1 more Crispin. Yeah. So I have to play around that now. The thing is, they don't have a way, unless they have Prime Catcher, We still haven't seen their ace back. So barring a prime catcher, they do not have a way to Gust and Crispin in the same turn. And they have to Crispin to build up Pikachu here. So I think rather than going headlong in and leaving it up to chance, I don't really like it, but I think we try to two-shot the Pikachu to deny them that play. It gives them an extra turn to make another play, but I think it's better than just leaving it up to chance that they have it out of these 7 cards. I don't really like the play, but I think it's the only one we've got. Alright, again, not the only one, but I think it's the best play we have. Sometimes you just gotta play to your best win condition, even if it's not a particularly great one. Let's see, let's do it this way. Super Rod. Goes back in, so we still have the 4. But unfortunately, with the Resolute Heart, we can't one-shot Pikachu. It doesn't. That doesn't work. You gotta play around it. So unless they have a Gust, they can't. They would have to settle for knocking out the 1-prizer. Welcome back, Janae. Hello. We're on a pretty good run tonight, but you are witnessing the final game of the night. Yeah, you're just in time for the end of the stream. I gotta go to bed. Try to get some sleep. This one's not going too good, if I'm being honest. We might be heading towards 11 and 3. Okay, so they did have the boss, so yeah. But again, they needed the boss and the Crispin. They're gonna Teal Dance. Attach return, the energy switch. Okay, so they've got what they need for that, and they still had another boss. Okay. Yeah, I was about to say, at that point, why would you boss? So they still had it. Yeah. GG. Turns out when you get to play 3 Noctowl in one game, you kind of get everything you need. It do be happening, but still, we started off today 8-0. Crazy. Now, we dipped our toes in the 1700 ranks for the first time, so that was cool. We get shunted out at the end, but that guy was like 1783 or something. And yeah, I will gladly take an 11 and 3 day today. That's awesome. That makes me feel very good about my current deck build going into Toronto this weekend. Feel like I have a good understanding of the deck, decent understanding of the meta, and yeah,